tuning in to the Recap with the GoodFellaz show. You know how we do, man. Every week, we here for y'all. We breaking it down, we chopping it up, everything that's going on in the world. Whether it be music, politics, sports, entertainment, whatever, the GoodFellaz are here to address it. We are here to discuss the Kanye West, his 10th studio album, Donda. It's finally out there. The GoodFellaz, we're here to give our album review. It's been a day since it's dropped. By the time you watch this, it might be, like 2 days or whatever. But, it's given us enough time to actually listen to it, because nothing's worse than people who go on social media an hour after it dropped, like, yo, that shit's whack. Like, bruh, you ain't listened to 27 songs in 1 hour. Stop it.
Come on!
So now that we've got a chance to listen to it, we're going to give our opinion. Shout out to everybody tuned in right now. We are the GoodFellaz. It's your boy, Tommy Guns, alongside my man, Sean Montana. What up?
What up? It's Mr. Cojones. And Kanye West has to have a lot of cojones to still be rapping.
And of course, the voice of the streets, Karev Ya, Heritage Hip Hop, always representing for the culture. What's going on?
Keep Sage in your house to fight evil spirits, because Donda is not going to help you do it. And we're going to get into that soon. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let's go. Let's make history tonight.
All that good shit. So, Kanye West, Donda. The album is finally here after many delays. How we feeling about it? Karev Ya of Heritage Hip Hop, I'm going to let you go first. What did you think about the album? Feeling it or not?
I think this is one of his very well produced albums. Sonically, musically, I thought the album was good because it hit different areas of music. I like the choirs, I like the chords, I like the strings. Some of his drum patterns need work though. You know what I'm saying? As far as it being a Kanye album, I thought this was one of the best compilations that came out this year. As far as an album, I didn't like this album as an album. I thought I only like probably 3 or 4 songs. As an album, as a compilation, I could understand it better. But when people saying this is album of the decade, slow your roll.
Album of the decade?
Yeah, I did my homework. Like, I listened to the album more than once. I read other people's articles. I read respected people in hip hop articles, not just y'all people out there who be on Twitter like, this is the best album ever. But I actually gave them some great credence to see how people felt. This album isn't trash, but it is a wet trash bag. And I'm gonna say this is not something I really wanted to touch, but since I did, now I'm ready to cleanse. We sage in the house in our ears with this one, because Donda was, out of a 10, I'll give it a 6.5.
Really?
I don't like how it was delivered. I like sonically, like I said, the beat, music-wise, if you listen to Kanye's growth, he's doing what the RZA's doing now, and that's not hip-hop. He's exploring music. The RZA got Chinese people singing and scoring orchestras and shit, and Kanye is in like the fourth steeple of a Baptist church right now. He is not thinking about kicks, drums, and snares. He's thinking about vocalization and harmony chords. He's not thinking about bass lines and hi-hats, I'm telling you. So for that's the most courageous thing I've heard on this album, is the symphonics and how he plays the music. 27 songs, really, which is 23, is too goddamn long. Because these 5-minute and 30-something minute songs where it's all vocals, man, that's old 1970s blaxploitation soundtrack shit. I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Not right now. I mean, the last time I heard something like that was Black Jesus or Ghostface Killer Iron Man. We hear, I mean, I get it, and I give respect to the gospel tone that he wanted to give this album, but I'm not into gospel hip hop fusion. That's whack to me. I don't like Kirk Franklin. I like gospel as gospel and hip hop as hip hop, and you stay in your lane. This one, I don't mess with him neither. He's a clown. But yeah, he's a clown. We talk about that on another show. But as far as what's going on here with this, what I will say is, I could dig the sonics, but I don't dig the overall presentation. Don't tell me I'm gonna have chicken and you give me hot fries and you give me fries and a bone with some sauce on it. That's not chicken.
To you, what was the best song on the album?
My favorite song, let me look it up real quick, because I think it was Believe I Say. Believe What
I Say with Lauryn Hill, the Lauryn Hill sample.
That was the best song. When I heard it, I was, oh, yeah, all right. Because now the album had bounce. Because every other time it was a slow ride. That's the one thing about gospel. If you know the history of gospel music during slavery, especially, took the woe is me tone. It wasn't until that song came on that you really started getting the cultural bounce of joyful music. Besides that, Jail was good. That had Jay-Z on it. And I realized that the second time I listened to this album, I really didn't like the songs. I just liked the people that was on the songs. And that made me go, wow, this is enjoyable. But am I enjoying it because I like the music or because I like the artist that's on the song? And that's where I had a problem, because when I heard the Locks was on it, I got excited. But then it's not the Locks, but it's not the Locks that we're used to. And I think it was to ride the wave of the verses to make people check the album, and that I had a problem with.
So was there anything on there that you didn't like? You told us some stuff that you weren't feeling, but anything on there that you didn't like in particular?
Yeah, most of the vocals. I didn't like most of the people I heard on there at all. I give it that people wanted to give it a very positive vibe. They wanted to talk about God, but you can't talk about God and still talk about getting head in the hood. Come on, yo, that's crazy. If we're gonna go godly on it, and this is one thing, shout out to all the people I went to church with who were full of shit, by the way. I'm gonna be honest with you. The most telling thing about this album was musically, it came from the soul. Vocally, it came from what's trendy to me. And that's why I was lost. I think I mentioned y'all. I said Jay Electronica, shaking my head, because Jay Electronica is one of those groundbreaking artists that you hear him every now and then, but when you hear him, it's supposed to be monumental. Was it monumental for this album because he's on there, or was it monumental because he said something? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I was really confused with the project. Those are the things I didn't like. I mean, shout out to him for having the baby on there. That's great marketing, because Kanye's all about I'll do what I want. And so everybody canceled the baby, I'll have him back. Like he had Marilyn Manson back. He had all this stuff going on. And I get it, that's all theatrics. But I don't care about theatrics. I came for the music. And if you asking me if I was happy or if I was disappointed, I was disappointed. I liked the music, but everything that went on without it, I thought it was very substandard or subpar. And if this was an instrumental album, it would have been a great album. If being that his bars on there, I'm not feeling today's trendy sing-songy, just say anything on the song because it fits a title. I don't like it.
So 6.5 out of 10 you gave it, right?
Generously 6.5.
All right, that's what's up. You guys have heard it from Karev Yah of Heritage Hip Hop. 6.5 out of 10. It's your boy Tommy Guns. I'm gonna give my review real quick. I liked the album. I didn't love the album. There was things I liked about it, and then there was things I didn't like about it. Let's get into some of the stuff I did like. Similar to what Karev said, sonically, this album was amazing. I love how he was able to sample and blend a lot of the gospel samples and choir. You know, you could tell he actually had a choir in there singing at some point, and sonically with the beats and how he blended it, I thought he did an amazing job. To me, this is what Jesus is King should have been. I feel like he kind of perfected what he was trying to do with Jesus is King on this. And for that, I give it to him, because he actually made joints with the song title Jesus Lord hot. Jesus Lord is one of the hottest songs on that album. And just the fact that that's the title of it, you got to give him props. Like, you know, like all throughout the album, gospel inspiration, Jesus was on there a lot representing, and he made it so it was actually cool and, you know, a good song, and not just, hey, it's gospel, you got to like it. So I do respect that. Sonically, like I said, you could tell he put effort into the beats and everything. I appreciate that. Jail, the Jay-Z version, to me is the hottest song on there. I love that song. When I heard that song, I must have played like 20 times back to back. And that's how I know I like a song. It's like when I'm feeling some shit, yo, I play it back to long as nobody's around. The last song I did that with was that Nas and Lauryn Hill record. So that's how I know I'm really feeling the record. We got substandard J bars, but you know, like you could tell Jay-Z didn't have his heart in it, but it was just good to see that reunion. You know, maybe we'll actually get a Watch the Throne Part 2, but it was a great record. You know what I'm saying? That was single material. This is, like I said, a gospel-inspired album. I think it's only right that he would drop it on Sunday. Thematically, it makes sense. I also see why he didn't drop it the same day as Drake. Because although I like this album, and I think it's a good album, in the era of music we are in, which is radio joints, club joints, you know what I'm saying, heavy rotation records, it would not have went well against Drake's album. Because you know Drake, he's bringing nothing but radio hits. And I think he, you know, I think it was all, you know, it was a marketing thing. He didn't really want that heat of dropping on the same day as Drake. Because, you know, Kanye, say what you want, he's still, yeah, Jesus is king, but it's Kanye is king in his mind. And you could tell he wanted that #1 album. At the end of the day, he didn't want that pressure of dropping it on the same day as Drake. Because unlike when it was Graduation versus, you know, 50 Cent Curtis, back then, many would say that Kanye was the underdog. Now it's different. Kanye, at this point, is the OG veteran Hollywood cat, and Drake is like the young cat, the young, you know, I mean, not that Drake is a rookie by any means, but, you know, the roles are pretty much reversed, and you could tell that Kanye deep down didn't want that pressure, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I can see why he didn't drop it on the same day as Drake. It's a good album. It's not full of, if you're coming here for radio joints and club joints, this is not it. You know what I'm saying? Some of the joints that I like I said, Jail, I already talked about the Jay-Z version. He also, the thing about this album is 27 tracks, 4 of them are remixes. And to me, honestly, they were like unnecessary remixes. You know, it's pretty much the same song, he just has different people on it. So although there was the record, the remix where he had the locks on it, I did like that record, although it was, you know, it wasn't the same locks we're thinking about. It was a Sunday service locks. Like, imagine the locks throwing on a suit and going to church. That was that flow, which I appreciated, but, you know, I don't know. But, you know, I don't think it was necessary to have those 4 tracks on there. The Jail remix with the Baby Marilyn Manson, totally unnecessary. I didn't really care for it. It did nothing. You know, him having them on there, other than shock value, there was no reason to have a remix for that. The Jay-Z record was way better. It's a very long album, so you're not gonna listen to this in an hour or 2 hours. So everybody who an hour after it dropped was like, nah, that shit was trash, or that shit was the best album ever, stop it.
Which I really want.
You know what I mean? And speaking of that, yo, shout out to all the dick riders out there and all the fans and all the groupies. It is not the best album in existence. It's not Kanye's best album. It's a good album, but please, can we stop the dick riding and the hating? Because also you have the people like, yo, the Baby Marilyn Manson's on it. Nah, chill. Like, yo, relax.
Hey.
It's a good album. Listen to it. What else is out there? You're gonna listen to, you know, whatever these cats out here who are just on auto-tune? Like, stop. The joints I liked, Believe What I Say that Karev mentioned earlier with the Lauryn Hill sample. That joint is fire. Like, he sampled that track correctly. It's a club joint. That's another radio. I can see that joint on radio. He did justice to the doo-wop Lauryn Hill sample. Hurricanes also worked. You actually get like a gospel-y weekend hook. The Little Baby was on there. He didn't give the best verse, but he didn't give the worst verse. It's also good. I actually like the No Part 2, I think it's called, where it's got like a little reggae influence on there. He's actually taking subliminal shots at Drake. I like that joint as well. The album is good. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's a good album. It's not a great album. It's not a radio album. So you can tell after a couple of weeks, it's going to be like, you know, 808 Heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? Like a good album, not something that I'm going to vibe to all the time. Some things I didn't like, needless remixes. Sometimes it was just like gospel-y just to be gospel. It's like, cool, I get it. But there was there's a bunch of filler tracks on there. I also didn't like the Donda chant at the beginning. To me, that was kind of weird and cultish. I feel like if you're representing for your mom, represent for her, but don't make it seem like weird and cult-like. And just in general, although the album is called Donda, you don't really hear too much about his mom. There's a few songs where he mentions it. A couple other artists will mention it, but you know, this could easily have been Jesus the King Part 2 and you wouldn't have known the difference. And my last thing is, you know, not that it's a bad thing, but this is like a DJ Khaled album. It's featuring everybody from Little Baby, Jay-Z, The Weeknd, to Marilyn Manson. He's got remixes on remixes. The Lox is on there. And it's cool. I do appreciate features, but it would have been nice to hear a couple of tracks where he's actually spitting. And like I said, if you're here for spitting Kanye, this is not it. For the most part, it's auto-tune, 808 Kanye. This album to me is a mix between The Life of Pablo and what Jesus the King should have been. It's like a cross between them. Anyway, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's your boy Tommy Guns. I like it. It's definitely worth the check out. Listen to it, get it, but do I think deep down it's messing with Drake's album when it drops? Probably not. We'll see. Sean Montana, the voice of the streets, real quick. I already know what you're gonna say, but what did you think about the Kanye album? Did you get a chance to listen to it? And if so, what did the voice of the streets think about Donda?
That shit was ass, bro. I did not like that album at all.
Damn, for real?
That shit gets 1.5 red cup out of 5.
Damn.
That shit was trash, bro. It's like Kanye hasn't been good to me since the time that he beat Kanye. Well, I forgot the name of that album.
That was Graduation when he went up against 50.
That's the last somewhat okay Kanye album that he's ever dropped. Ever since then, he's just been steadily declining. And this album's no different. It's too preachy. It does feature a lot of people, and it sounds like I think he's trying to kind of almost make these rappers churchy too. I don't like it. I like the song with Jay-Z. There's a song that y'all both mentioned y'all like. I kind of like it too. I forgot the name of it.
Lauryn Hill sample?
Believe What I Say or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a somewhat good song, you know, but like you said, the album's too long, and it's just too preachy, man. He might as well switch genres. Just, he's gospel rapper. You know, like he's like not really. I will say he is a musical genius. I will say that he is a musical genius, but I don't like the type of music he does. So, again, out of 5 red cups, I give it 1.5.
I feel like there was some features on it. Like he had a Pop Smoke record, which was like pointless, other than the fact that I got a Pop Smoke feature on there. Like it didn't fit the vibe. Even the Fivio Foreign was on there, like Lil Baby. For you to put out a gospel album and then to have them rapping about getting head and smoking and all that, it kind of defeated the purpose to me.
Kanye hasn't dropped an album. Honestly, there's no Kanye album that actually is for me. What? He has some songs that I like. Like his first album really had, I would say at least 4 or 5 songs that I really to this day can bump. Okay, I'm lying. Maybe 2 or 3.
Okay.
Jesus Walk, the one with the poet, Never Let Me
Down.
Never Let Me Down.
Never Let Me Down. Yeah.
Down. That one.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody tuned in right now. We've been breaking down the Kanye West Donda album. We've given our review. Karev, you gave it officially a 6.5 out of 10, correct?
Being very generous, yes.
6.5 red cups. Sean Montana, you gave it
1.5 red cups out of 5.
1.5 red cups. Okay. Shaw gives it 3 out of 10 red cups. It's your boy Tommy Guns. I actually give it 8 out of 10 red cups. I feel like it was a good album. Just wasn't a great album. Shout out to everybody tuned in right now. We want to hear from you. So make sure you comment. Let us know what you think about the album. Was it worth the wait? Is it a great album? Is it one of Kanye's best? Are you a Kanye West dick rider? Trust me, we don't judge. It's okay. You can admit it. You cop those ugly ass Yeezys. We ain't judging you. Now, we want to hear all of that. We want to hear all the smoke. Leave comments. Make sure you continue to share the videos, like the videos, and of course, watch the videos. This is the Recap with the GoodFellaz show. We just reviewed Kanye's album. I got a feeling we're going to have another review for Drake's album in a few days. But until then, on behalf of all the GoodFellaz, shout out to my man Dav Noble, my man Big A, Sajin, aka Mayhem Media. You will see them as regular, as usual, next episode. But until then, on behalf of myself, Karev Ya, and Sean Montana, peace.